everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. Does anybody else feel like CoverGirl is going for a major brand reboot? I mean, it feels like just the new products that are coming out are kind of fun and different for them, and just I'm kind of excited about it, really. I've had tons of questions about their new skin enhancer, the Baked Luminous Finishing Powder. Lots of people wanting me to try this, and I ordered it on Amazon, and then instead of coming immediately, it actually took a couple days because I think these have been really popular and people have been seeking it out. So I had to wait a little while on that, but I did get the Sun and Sculpt as well, the Yummy Big Oil, the Jelly Water Tint. So I've been playing with these things lately, and I'm gonna share them with you today. So I've already got my skincare on, and the first thing we're gonna do is talk about this TruBlend Sun and Sculpt Bronzing Glow Serum. I got it in the shade Light, but as you'll see, it's like basically catering to someone who has lighter skin to give you the bronze. They say you could use this all over, you could mix this. I actually do feel like this is going to be a useful product to mix with certain foundations that I want to keep using but have become a little bit light for me in the summer. What else did it say on Ulta's website? For a targeted sculpt, use the wand applicator to swipe onto the desired area for definition. They say it is buildable, so it's an interesting product that comes with a pump and a doe foot. I've just been using the doe foot and blending it all over. I think you could use this kind of like a priming step. I want you to see what it looks like blended all over. See? It's like you're swiping on liquid bronzer, but it's not as opaque as a lot of your liquid bronzers would be, okay? Now, I've worn this a couple days with this kind of serving as my overall base. Like, I added in concealer, I added in powder, but this was the base product. And I will say the staying power was not amazing. It might be something that I enjoy more staying power wise, like blended in with something else, or you know, using it as primer, topping with foundation. But as you can see, it does blend easily, and it's going to leave me with this really pretty, just kind of sun-kissed look. You can see I look even more bronzy. I've got some glow, but I can't find shimmer on my face right now. So it's like I've added moisture, I've added bronze. I can't really see the shimmer, but my skin looks overall even more glowy. Personally, I love the look. Like, I think this looks super duper healthy right now, and I'm excited to try it in other ways. I do plan to try it in a more targeted way. I plan to mix, but I do kind of like the way it looks all over the surface of the skin right now. But then I'm going to build on this a little bit so you can see where I'm going. I'm going to add some concealer. Yesterday I used like a really lightweight concealer with my look. Today I think I'm going to just step it up a little bit and use my Revlon Color Stay Flex Wear, and maybe I'll be overall a little more pleased with the staying power. And I will say I'm putting it through some stuff. Like, it's hot outside. Our pool is not quite ready yet. So we've been doing some hot weather playing outside. Bubbles, trampoline, sidewalk chalk, playgrounds. I'm everywhere, okay? I'm taking my e.l.f. Tap and Blend concealer brush here. And given what I know about my experiences with this Revlon concealer, I think this is just what this little guy needs. A concealer that can really last. It's really brightening me up on my under eye in comparison to my bronzy look everywhere else. But if you're scared about this, like the thought of blending it all over, it really does blend easily and blends just back into your skin tone really well. And if you were to compare it to like the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion, I end with a glowy look, but it's not as shimmery as that. It's more like bronzy pigment, you know what I mean? I'm just tapping this in. I went back to my like foundation brush, the e.l.f. Buffing Foundation brush, and I'm pressing that concealer in all over. Ooh, it really does look good. It's such a radiant look right now, honestly, but I'm gonna set with powder, and I will say this stuff as setting powder. I got this in the shade Sugar Cookie. It's a little more luminous than I want as something that's gonna just pop on right on top of a concealer or a foundation. I'm really thinking this is best suited to be a finishing powder, so that's when you're gonna see that step come in. For now, with this look, I am gonna set my key zones where I use my concealer. I'm using my Maybelline Fit Me today in Fair, and I'm gonna be setting under eye and my T-zone. Yesterday was the first day where I really felt hot outside. Really feeling like big time summer. Dabbing around, I always try to hit that area between the brows because I feel like that can be breakdown central, you know? Around the mouth, chin. Just get it on there and then we dust away. slash kind of blend in what's there. Love, love it. Next, I'm going to hang in there with the CoverGirl steps for now, and I'm going to bring in this bronzer, which I've had on hand before. It's my like kind of marbled baked bronzer. You've seen me use this, called Caramel Truffle. And I'm just going to add this in with my Sephora angled brush. I really like this bronzer. I like the intensity level. I like how easy it is to blend. But keep in mind, it is kind of glowy. I mean, the bronzer itself is glowy. The little sections of lighter tones also have some glow, so be ready for that. I'm contouring with it a little bit as well. Luminous summertime glow. I mean, I'm getting into it, guys. I'm feeling it. And this has been a powder texture that we've applied. I'm not too juicy to the touch. But again, this is light coverage. Like, I am covered on my under eye well. We've got that going on. But as you look around my skin, like, this stuff is not built for coverage, really. It's built for tint and color, but it's light in terms of what it's actually covering. Next thing, I got a stain. It's the Jelly Water Tint. It's a lip and cheek color, and I got it in the shade Cherry Burst. This I'm really into. It's kind of different a little bit from like these ones that I love so much from e.l.f. These are a straight like water texture. They're really doing exactly what Benefit Benetint is doing. This Jelly Water Tint from CoverGirl actually does have more of a thick, do you see how it's hanging off the applicator a little bit? It's not just dripping like water. So it is kind of a gel type consistency. And I think it's beautiful as blush. I know red blush is kind of a hot thing, so I thought I'll get the red and really utilize it as blush. Use it as a lip color as well. It's fun. It's pigmented, and really none of my e.l.f. ones are this red exactly. Even the one I have that's most like Benetint, the one called Left on Red, you know, it's not quite as boldly red as this thing. Also, it does have a scent. It smells sweet. I like it. I'm gonna give myself a little dot here, and you don't need much. Taking my Sephora 56, blending. Look at that. The color out of one little swipe is a lot. But the color feels more stainy, more sheer, I guess, even though it's colorful and you're like, wow, I'm seeing a lot there. There's a sheer nature to the color that's different from like an opaque Rare Beauty product, or like I was just using the e.l.f. recently. This color has more of a sheer quality to it. And you just keep blending and it will work with you. It will work in. There's no shimmer in it. It is pure color, but this reddish tone looks really flattering, I think. And then you're going to want to see it on the lips too. But before I show that, I feel like I'm going to need to talk about the big oil stick. So we'll get there in a second, because the big oil stick really is not a color player. I was thinking that was going to be some kind of staining stick. I don't know why I just assumed it, but I did. But turns out it really doesn't do much color-wise at all. But here's what we're going to do next. We're going to cap off the complexion with the TruBlend Skin Enhancer Baked Luminous Finishing Powder. So I got this in the shade Sugar Cookie. I just kind of went with what I thought was going to be appropriate for my skin tone, is like this finishing touch powder. I thought about what hourglass powders I have and that I like. To the touch, it has a very similar feel to an hourglass powder, you know? You're picking up some color, but you're not picking up a lot. I think a lot of people enjoy that about the texture of hourglass powders, is that they're not too weighty. Here's one that I have in diffused light, and I just want to touch it and kind of compare. Yeah, they're pulling off the same amount of color, I guess, but the same like lightweight, easily blendable feel. Now, how much shimmer is actually in this? Is it very glowy? I think it's got a soft bit of glow, but it's really, really subtle and light. My takeaway yesterday as I was putting it on, I thought like it's almost mattifying me a little bit, but still giving a glow of its own. You know what I'm saying? This is not a fully matte powder, but the texture of the powder is going across skin that might be a little dewy, and it's like it's placing a soft matte glow over everything, if that makes any sense. I'm going to try to show you here. I'm taking a powder brush. I'm going into the product. I want you to see where my skin is at right now. Make sure I'm in focus. And then I'm just going to kind of go over like part of it. Look how like the glow on this cheek feels more wet, dewy, popping off. And now it looks like a softer glow on the other side. go up to the forehead, just this side of the face for now. See how the glow is just a little bit softer, not quite so wet looking. Okay, now I'm gonna go over everything. I like it because also looking up close, it doesn't really look like I put on a big weighty powder over everything, but it's making a nice finishing powder and it's operating the way Hourglass powders do, you know? Like if this was sitting in one of those palettes for the holidays and I'm thinking, well, what do I do with that? It's a finishing powder, you know, you use it at the end and it makes everything just look a little more merged together, right? And I like this light shade. Could you go up to your under eye with it? I think you could, but it's not totally free from luminosity, and I don't think I really need that up on the under eye. It's an all over the face, merging it all together, softening the look of pores, frankly, too. I enjoy it. I think CoverGirl did a fantastic job with this product. And I know I didn't talk about it much in this video, but the blushes, too, that are packaged this way, very, very good. I like Rose Latte. I like their deep berry color. I've got a pinky one. Just some really exciting face products right now from CoverGirl. And before I move on with my next steps of the face, I do want to take this Clean Fresh Yummy Big Oil Stick. Okay, this is huge. This is huge. The shade I got is called Juiced in Time. Juiced in Time. And you twist it off and you got a big old stick. You can twist it up some and you might be able to recognize that it looks kind of like a jelly. It doesn't feel like jelly, it feels solid, but I don't know. I glance at it and I think, okay, it's gonna be fairly transparent. The smell is really strongly fruity, I would say. It smells good. I can't quite peg it on one certain thing, but there's a sweetness, kind of like candy. And then you put it on, and I was expecting more of like a colorful stain, but really you're just getting, if you build it, if you swipe over it quite a bit, it's gonna give you a little bit of color. Okay, all in all, it's like you grabbed one of those jumbo lip smackers from the past, you know? That's basically the level this is giving you. But texture-wise, they called it a big oil stick. How is this appealing to us, by the way? I want the big oil stick. They put the name Yummy in cute font on there. It feels a little bit more like what you'd expect a lip oil to feel like than all these other things that are packaged like this that say lip oil, you know? These feel more like glosses. This feels more like a lip oil to me. It's not like it's sliding outside my lips too thin, but it's really comfy and I do like the texture. I just think it's kind of funny that it's so big. But you know what? Big packaging is eye-catching. Big packaging draws you in. I'm going to continue letting that soften my lips up while I do eyes and brows, and then we'll finish things off with some of this on the lips. Alrighty guys, I continued on with the eyes. It's a light eye look. I did have a CoverGirl brow thing, which you know I love, the Clean Fresh Nano Brow Pencil, which I wear in medium brown. So I did that, and then I used the little ColourPop Brow Boss on top. Amazing brow product there if you like a really skinny pencil. And then you know I can't help myself. I gotta bring in something classic. This is Country Woods, gang. This is what you put on for like barely there eye looks, okay? It is in newish packaging. They still sell it, but Country Woods. That's on my eyes. I did a little lazy liner top and bottom with this Milani stick in Terra. It's like a little softer than Brown Abyss from L'Oreal, and I feel like it gave me a nice little upper and lower smudgy line. Milani Fan Club, highly rated Fan Club mascara on top. I'm still kind of like working that curl in. I just finished putting it on. And then e.l.f. lash extender is on the lower lashes. So the last thing we need to do is take this stuff and put it on the lips. My lips do feel really nice and soft after having the Yummy Big Oil Stick all over. I have nothing to wipe off with. But this stuff, like I said, prepare yourself because it is a more intense red than like the red tint from e.l.f. It's more of a jelly thing, like we said. You notice that on the cheeks, it was intense. And now here on the lips, it's gonna be intense as well. But it is gonna stain, you know, which is nice. Swipe it all over, to the top. See, look how bright and actually extremely colorful that turns out to be. There's an element of sheerness. It's not 100% opaque, but I might give it like 90% opaque, and it stays feeling a little bit wet on there. Like you continue to feel some moisture, and very little actually blots off. even though my lips still feel kind of wet. Some is going to come off a little bit on my coffee cup, I know, when I take a sip, but I'm going to continue to have some reddish stain for quite some time. And on the cheeks as well. So I think that's cool, and it's offering me something a little different. Like I said, still love the e.l.f. ones, but this is giving me a more vibrant red, something I didn't already have. So how do we feel about this CoverGirl look, guys? I, for one, love this, and I was very impressed by this stuff too, acting as a finishing powder, feeling a lot like an hourglass powder. I would say don't load it on like super thick. Just because this is lightweight, I can apply as much as I want, because there is some luminosity in there, and that might not always be your friend over every fine line and whatnot, but a light bit I think is very flattering, and just using it as like that finishing veil. The Yummy Big Oil Stick is fun, but I'm sure you've got like lip balms that are good. Like you're buying it because you're just enthralled by the giant packaging. It's not an absolute essential, but it's cute and it feels nice on your lips. And this stuff, I think I'm going to enjoy this throughout the summer. I'm going to continue trying it in different ways. I'm going to definitely use it as a mixer into some other foundations I have that I think need deepening. I'm going to try it in pinpointed areas, like they said, although I think it's going to be a lot softer than other liquid bronzers I own in that regard. But I do kind of like it just all over, and hopefully today, having used a more reliable concealer, the Revlon, I'm going to have better staying power in those areas where I really count on it, like under eyes, nose, T-zone, etc. So yeah, fun times playing with new CoverGirl stuff. Let me know if you've tried any of these products, or if there are any others that you've seen that you'd like to let me know about. Let's chat in the comments, and I will see you guys again very soon. I love you. Bye.